Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a big show lined up, but first our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. It's going to be a nice day. High today is 59 and low is 42, mostly sunny. It's been, I tell you what's been nice the last couple of mornings, just driving early in the morning and seeing the frost on the cars and around on the grass and all. Really been nice to see that frost again. Really the first one, decent one we've had. Now we're looking at the water temperature at 63 degrees, went up 1 degree, but that's okay. It's variable anyway. So it's going to be, the river's still high. Let's take a look at our river region brought to us by Watson's Landing Marina and Dry Storage right over there, a couple minutes east of Harrison Avenue on Old Business 98. We're looking at the Apalachicola, Bluntstown 18.1, and it is dropping, which is in good shape there, but it's still high. It's still high, but its drop's going to be a little bit faster. The Choctawhatchee at Caryville, 11.1, and this again got a good slow drop to it. Both of these, but all these charts still have a lot of color in them, so it's still high water, but it's getting better. So this weekend, I tell you what, I promise you there'll be some folks on the river this weekend and fishing all over the place trying to get up and be getting back on the river is what they call it. I need to get back on the river is what they say. So they're going to be getting back on the river on the Choctawhatchee and the Apalachicola. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. We're looking at a high tide, a low tide at 9:05 this morning, and a high tide at 12:04. So we've got today is the January 13th on Wednesday. Got a decent tide today, but it's the last decent tide we're going to have for the week. Now this weekend is going to be neap tides, not a lot of movement. So be aware of that if you're planning any kind of inshore fishing. Not a lot of movement at all. The marine forecast will be light and variable. I want to go ahead and do our fishing game times in this segment because the third segment I want to show you something else. So let's take a look at it. Brought to us by Mark Cowart of Counts Real Estate. Mark, times we're looking at 2:40 to 4:40 this morning, this afternoon from 3:06 to 5:06. So it's a good time. It's going to be a really pretty time in the woods this afternoon if you got time to get off work early or something and get up in a tree stand. It's going to be really pretty. All right. Like I say, the marine forecast is really, I'm looking at it as just variable. Light variable is what it's called, and a little bit of a breeze, and that'll be coming a little bit out of the north. All right. We'll take our break and be right back. All right, welcome back. We want to look at some pictures. Always this segment is good. We have a picture set up. We're going to look at them and also. A lot of times, I've told you I get them off from email that y'all send, and sometimes I get them off Facebook. And I got this picture here off Facebook. I want y'all to help me on this because I'm not sure. I just got a picture, and I put the writing when I read it right here. This is a state. What they're saying now. This on December 28th, the state record blue catfish, 69 pounds 8 ounces, the Choctawhatchee River Ebro. Now, I'm not saying this is just what I saw, and Brenda Hendricks, who's a reliable person, she shared this. So I want to, if y'all know more about anything about this, let me know. I'm curious about it. It's fascinating. Okay, now let's go to some things I am sure of. This is my buddy Wes Stone. Wes was our student of the month last year, one of our students of the month, and he loves to hunt. He and some other boys. Look at that's just a good picture. Wes is relaxed back there. He's happy. I got some more pictures. Okay, that's some of the boys he was hunting with. Look at that. Is that a pretty dog or what? Okay, and now Jim Balch. Jim, a former deputy. Jim is an excellent hunter. Watches the show on a regular basis. Jim, congratulations. That's just a nice buck. I know you're glad to get some of that meat in the freezer. Speaking of, I haven't done a lot of that. How about Tyler Wilkins on the right, and this Megan Floyd on the left, a little girl, and this is Tyler. That's a really nice buck. About dog hunting, and the whole family's out there doing it. And I know y'all enjoyed that. Nice buck there. Now let's quickly go to the Emerald Coast Professional Redfish Series. We've been talking about it. I promise you I'll give you the payouts, and like I say, they'll be starting in about a month. First place now, these are the weekend's tournament. If they have 30 boats, first place will be $3,000. Second place, $1,500. Third place, $750. Fourth, $500. And fifth is $250. Then they have an optional power pole cache, and you pay $100, and then there's a regular payout. That's sort of a lot of them do that, and that's always a lot of fun. Now also, they're going to have the kayak division. If they have 25 kayakers, first place would be 500, second 400, third 300, fourth 200, fifth 100, and they'll have a power pole micro anchor cache optional, and the same kind of deal there. So we'll keep you informed. Emerald Coast Redfish Series, there's some really good folks doing that, good local folks and all, and I know you'll enjoy it. Now this next picture here, all pictures are special, but this is really special because this is old Caleb Squires. Caleb is our contact. He's our main man down at Tarpon Dock Seafood. Caleb has been there since he left high school, and he's really a hard worker. And this is a nice buck. He broke a dry spell. He said he hadn't got one in a while, and he's a tick over that. So Caleb Squires, congratulations, okay? And let's see. This is just a picture. This is what you're seeing a lot of now. They're in their tree stand, and they're actually reading a book or texting. Right here, they're reading a book, and you're going to see a lot of young people are doing this kind of stuff now. And I sort of got tickled when I saw it because I remember, and I still do it on occasion. If I'm going to do a prolonged hunting trip, and I'm going to sit in that stand, half a day or 3/4 of the day, or sometimes all day, I'll have me a book to read, and I've done that on occasion. So it's really no difference between reading a book. Now, what comes in, what the problem is, I could read a book, and I knew exactly, read a couple paragraphs and look up, and I knew exactly where to look. These young people, what their weakness is, they want to texting. They want to text, and then somebody texts them back. They want to text right back, so they lose concept of looking. But it's fascinating. You just see a lot of these now, and it's just inevitable. You're gonna see it. But nothing wrong with it. If you can read and look up enough, I guess you're gonna be in good shape. But I've seen some good pictures of people saying a deer walked by and they looked up and the deer was gone. All right, let's see. That's enough pictures for right now. I want to talk about the rut. I've mentioned it several times, and I'll mention it again because we're right in the middle of the rut in a lot of areas. And I came up with this little formula. I call it the 3 C's. Okay, I'm sorry, the 3 S's. The 3 S's. Here they are: scent, skill, and safety. Scent, we talked about how important it is, and I still, scent to cover yourself and scent to bring in a buck. I still use old Tink's scent. So we talked about that last week. I just want to mention it again. Scent is so important. Okay, then next, this number 2 I have on here is the skill. Skill is just a whole variable, and I was thinking as I was driving in on all the skill it takes, and I look back on all these, you have hunters, you have these really super hunters who are successful year after year, then you have some other hunters that just aren't. And the big difference is they just stay after it. They're not any smart or anything, but what they are, they just spend time out in the woods. They know where the deer's going to be. They know what they're going to do during the rut. They know, and I talked about the last one I got was lucky because it's like 9:30 in the morning. But I did know when I went up there at 9:30 in the morning, I did know that they're going to walk at odd times when they're in rut. So all those factors, as far as being a smart deer hunter, come from just being out there, knowing your territory, knowing what they're going to do. So that skill set is important, and also having your gun sighted in. Having the little things like, knowing exactly how you're going to hold it when it comes out over here, or how you're going to hold it when it comes out over here. All those little things is what makes a really successful hunter. So it's right now at that time. Then number 3 is safety, and we've talked about that time and time again. The safety important, especially if you're climbing. And like I say, this time of year, I really like a ground blind, but you want to get it set up and move it around as much as you can, so they'll know it's just part of the landscape there, okay? Let's go ahead and take a break now. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. While we were talking about hunting, closing up on deer hunting, that last segment, let's open up on coon hunting on this segment. I know this time of year, I can remember way back in the day, the cold weather and all, the coon hunters loved getting out. They don't worry about the dogs jumping on snakes and all that. So coon hunting is really going strong now. Let me know. I used to have a group of friends that were coon hunters, and I'd hear from them every now and then. And it's just a love of the dog and love of the chase is what they enjoy. The coons survive for another night. It's an old tradition of hunting, and I just don't hear from a lot of coon hunters now. So if some of y'all like coon hunting, Let me know how it's going, what kind of year you're having, okay? Also, I want to take this time to invite any captains along the Emerald Coast are welcome to come on Panhandle Outdoors. I have an open invitation. You can come on anytime. Just call me. My number is 819-5548. Especially this time of year when it's sort of not a lot of fishing going on. It's right before the spring kickoff. You want to come on the show, we'll talk to you and we'll have you as our guest and enjoy the visit, and you can talk about your business, what you specialize in, and where you dock, and all kinds of things. So all captains, get the word to them. You're welcome to come on the show. We'll just call me. We'll set you up a date. All right. Also, now let's get into this little video. We're talking about fishing and all. One of my favorite fishing is catching grouper, and when you catch them, it's nothing like cooking some fresh grouper that you've caught. And we started making fish tacos. I've got lately over the years, the last couple of years, I just love fish tacos. I used to think I never would eat them, but so we made some fish tacos at the house. So let's go ahead and roll this video, Jeff. I think y'all enjoy this. All right, first thing we're starting with is a citrus salsa. And the first thing we put in there, this is the sort of the meat of 2 oranges. Okay, now next thing we add are limes. So you can get 1 big one or 2 small ones here. And we got 2 small ones because that's what they had in the grocery store. We add this to this second stage of the salsa. Okay, then after that, next thing you do is just chop up both of those together. All right, next we're taking the seeds out of the tomatoes. Okay. And we'll get them pretty clean. We're going to sort of dice them up. Okay, next thing, Whitney's helping us out here. We're beginning to dice the tomatoes. We'll cut them like in 3 strips like that and turn them to the side. You're doing good, Whitney. So simple, even a child can do it. Alright, next we're going to get a jalapeno pepper. And remember on these, you want to take the seeds out so it won't be quite as hot. It's still going to have a great flavor to it, but that's how you take the seeds out. Alright, then you're going to cut these in small pieces and dice those. Okay, next thing we're going to take some spring onions and we're going to cut them in little pieces on the white part and the green part. You want all of that together. Okay, last thing we do is take some cilantro and chop it up and get 2 tablespoons full, and that will mix it in. That's the last ingredient. Okay, Wendy, we're just sort of family affair, so tell us what you're doing on this stage.
All right, I'm making what we're gonna coat the fillets with. So this is a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, a tablespoon of chili powder, and I'm adding a teaspoon of seasoned salt and a teaspoon of pepper. And then we're gonna mix it up really good and coat the fillets with that.
Okay, this goes on the fillets.
Yes.
All right. Okay, you can see I have a big slab of grouper, and what we're doing, we're just cutting it in little chunks here. We're getting ready to grill it. Okay, next we are taking this mixture here and just sprinkling it on the fillets. Alright. Okay, now we have it here on the grill, and we put the sprinkle side down and we sprinkling the other side. So we have
Both sides coated.
both sides will be coated here.
Okay.
That's a nice grouper. Now, folks, what we're working on now, we're working on fish tacos. Now, I've never tried this before, but it's never too late to teach an old dog a new trick. So, I've cooked them about 5 minutes. I don't have anything fancy on grilling and all, but these are pretty thick grouper. We cook them on 5 minutes on each side. On this side, I'm gonna flip them over. Cook them 5 minutes on the other side. Actually, may do a little bit longer. May go to like 7 or 8. But it looks good right now. Okay. Okay, we did about 7 minutes on each side and I flipped it over. So look, we're gonna take them up now. You can see they're in good shape right here. Man, that's fresh grouper, folks.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna make fish tacos. So we're gonna put taco shells on top of the coals and warm them up real good. Okay, here's all the stuff together. Here's the grouper, and we have the salsa here, have some grits over here, and the taco shells over here, and some refried beans. So we're gonna all put it together. Got a cheese on top of it, and we'll put salsa on it.
It's a work of art.
Welcome back. Don't I get you hungry first thing in the morning? There's nothing like fresh grouper on the grill. It's just or fried either way, but it's good, and I just love eating that, and that's just a different way of doing it. It's a fun way. So try it, and you don't have to go catch one. Run down to Tarpon Dock today and get some fresh grouper. They got it down there. Now I've got this handwritten letter, and I love getting these letters. In fact, we wrote our grandkids. I wrote my grandkids a letter, a handwritten, and they were amazed with it. They were out of town, and I wrote them a letter. And they were just, I wrote it to my grandson, and he was just fascinated with it. It was after Christmas I wrote it. And so I would advise you to every now and then do that. It's just a lost art. But anyway, appreciate it. So we're going to talk about this. Before I do, well, let's go and get into this. I'm gonna read it, okay? I'm gonna try to read it, Jeff. But let's see. I have a picture to go along with it, okay? And this is from Lord Armstrong up there in Chipley. Hey, Winston, someone went on my hunting area and took my corn feeder and stand right after Christmas. My corn feeder was homemade. It's stainless steel, about 55 inches long, 6 foot, 55 inches long. The back leg on my stand, let's see, I can't really see, was heavy. Was on a heavy square table. I repaired it with a heavy square tube. If you would show this, someone might see. I watch the TV show every day. I've won several times. Thank you very much, Lord Armstrong. Let me show you this stand. Okay, this is his hunting stand. He had a feeder and stand. But here's this picture right here, and this is a drawing of it. Actually, this is instructions on how to put it together. Now, this is what we call a tripod stand. Okay, it's got a heavy square tube, and you can see the leg repaired. He's repaired the leg. So this is where if you see a new stand popping up somewhere, somebody hauling on the back of the truck, we need to help old Lord out and find it. But you look at those bottom legs, you see the heavy square tube has been repaired. And up now, it doesn't show, but up top, he's got a metal roof. I don't quite have that in, but way up top, he's got a metal roof. You can see it. So if someone shows up with one on your lease or something, and all of a sudden it looks like that, you let us know. Here's going to be okay, this is a drawing. This is on Hard Labor Creek Road up there. It is really, it's between here. I got a good friend got some property up there. Benny Forehand, y'all keep an eye out up there. Benny, you and your buddies. This is sort of shows where the top left-hand corner where it was taken from. Hard Labor, the creek is at the top up there, and then the Hard Labor Creek Road. So off the Mitchell property, and different people got 40 and 80 acres spread out in there. Some good hunting. I've hunted up there before. Now here's the Lord's address right here. Lord Armstrong, 1346 Oak Avenue in Chipley, and there's his phone number, 850-638-3522. And Lord, we'll certainly try to, some low life does stuff like that, or thugs or whatever you want to call them. They're thieves, and you just. I just don't have any patience for people like that. So y'all keep a lookout. It's just wrong, flat out wrong. People work hard and buy things with the money they make from a living, and it's just it really irritates me. Okay, now, and we'll keep us posted on that, Lord, if you find it and all. And it can show up. They might try to repaint it and all, but here's the drawing right here. All right, so let's try to help our Lord out. Anytime something like that happens on your property, you let us know. We'll try to track it down on your boat. We know we had a guy that they stripped the boat down over there in Parker, and I didn't say we found it. Some folks actually found it later on, and he got a lot of it back. So they've taken the parts off and they found it. All right, now I also want to talk about getting back to hunting, I got a couple of pictures here. This is Jonathan French. This is fascinating. This has been a tremendous year on hunting. This is Jonathan hunting with his dad up here in West Bay. Okay, look at that. Isn't that a great picture? The redheads have just been something. I want to tell you something. This duck hunting season has been phenomenal. Just yesterday, I was talking to a lot of these young boys. Jonathan, a young man, and a lot of these guys are going out, and they're not only doing over there by Tyndall, they're all over West Bay and Choctawhatchee Bay, and they're just having a great year. Every report I see or hear, and I was talking to some guys yesterday, like I said, at school, and they just had limited out like in 30 minutes. It's just been a phenomenal year on duck hunting. It reminds me back during the fall, late summer, early fall, how everybody's going out catching these black drum. And because that was really strong. The black drum bite was strong all throughout. So what that goes, and I get fascinated thinking about, that's just a cycle nature goes through. Now we've had a couple of slow years on duck hunting. Now last year was pretty good, but this year it's just been phenomenal on all the reports. And like I say, Jonathan French sent that. And guys are going out, they're training their dogs, and I know some people, the wood duck harvest up there in Bluntstown, Calhoun County, my nephew, my niece's son, he sent me a lot of pictures. He's going back in those woods, those flooded woods, and they're just really jumping on those wood ducks, and it's been really good. Duck hunting is special, a lot of fun to go duck hunting. I see these pictures, I may get back into it next year, I really may. My dog about as old as I am, though. I don't know how long she would last out there, but we might give it a try. All right, we're going to start wrapping things up now. Tomorrow is going to be all my shows are special to me. I hope you enjoy them. But got a special guest coming tomorrow. You're going to be fascinated with this guest and what he's done. I mean, I don't want to give it away, so I'm going to surprise you with a guest and all. But it's going to be a really, really good show tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. So make sure you tune in and all. And as always, we're going to tell you how much we appreciate your viewership and also how much you support our sponsors. Our sponsors, that's who keeps us on the air. Good folks, a lot of small, all small business, mom and pop operations, just good folks out there. So we appreciate your support. You have a great day today. Do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.